If you don't live in Scandinavia or have a specific interest in the region, you might have never heard of Åland. This name could be unfamiliar even to those who have come across it, due to its unique and less publicized nature. Åland, an autonomous and demilitarized entity, has been part of Finland since 1920, but its existence and characteristics remain a mystery to many around the world, including in Europe. Surprisingly, Åland is an independent nation with its own flag, national anthem, and parliament. I invite you to explore this fascinating territory in this video. Åland, strategically located in the Baltic Sea, at the entrance of the Gulf of Bothnia, is an archipelago of significant relevance. Located at the midway point between Sweden and Finland, the Åland archipelago has its capital, Mariehamn, situated on the most populous island, which is 170 kilometers from Finland and just 50 kilometers from the Swedish coast. This strategic region, serving as a cultural and geographical bridge between the two nations, is home to approximately 6,500 islands and islets, of which only about 60 are inhabited. The total area of the archipelago is around 1,600 square kilometers, with an approximate population of 30,000 residents. Despite being a part of Finland, Åland possesses a distinct cultural identity, with Swedish as the official language spoken by 93% of the population. Åland's history dates back to the Viking era, with deep roots in Scandinavian culture. The local population's conversion to Christianity in the 12th century, mainly by Swedish missionaries, solidified its connection to Sweden. However, after a significant naval victory, the islands were taken by the Russian Tsar Peter I in 1714, serving as a strategic point for Russia. With Finland's declaration of independence from the Russian Empire in 1917, the inhabitants of Åland, many of whom were of Swedish origin, aspired to define their own future. They received support from Sweden, reflecting the strong desire of the local community to perhaps unite with this country in the future. Despite Finland being open to the idea of autonomy for Åland, there was significant resistance to the idea of granting full independence to the archipelago. This situation led to an international standoff at that time. At the end of World War I, the League of Nations was established to mediate conflicts between countries in a more peaceful manner, laying the groundwork for the future formation of the United Nations. The dispute between Sweden and Finland over Åland became the first diplomatic challenge for the League. Negotiations resulted in Åland remaining under Finnish sovereignty, but with a significant degree of autonomy, marking an important example of peaceful international conflict resolution. It was decided that Åland would be governed by an autonomous administration and maintain a permanent demilitarized status, with the explicit prohibition of using its territory for military purposes. On May 6, 1920, Finland formally recognized Åland's autonomy, allowing it to establish its own parliament. While technically a part of Finland, Åland distinguishes itself by having its own flag, national anthem, constitution, and autonomous system of government, and it adopts Swedish as its official language. Åland's parliament exercises full autonomy in internal matters and wields considerable influence in external affairs. A notable example of this was during Finland's accession to the European Union in 1995. Åland conducted its own referendum on this issue, resulting in its inclusion in the European Union through a special protocol distinct from Finland's. This unique arrangement reflects Åland's distinctive position on the international stage. Åland, as an autonomous state entity, serves as an associate member in the Nordic Council and has its own police force and postal services. This territory manages a range of local functions, including healthcare, education, and transportation. Notably, residents of Åland are exempt from military service, a peculiarity that has contributed to its reputation as the happiest country in the world, as assessed by various research institutions. Additionally, when compared to the national average in Finland, Åland excels in various well-being and happiness indicators, a lesser-known fact. The Åland Islands, located in the Baltic Sea, stand out for their population's longevity, which exceeds the continental average, reflecting a robust and healthy community. Previously isolated, these islands experienced a remarkable transformation after Russian intervention, evolving from remote territories into urbanized areas relative to their limited size. The most populous city, Mariehamn, was established in 1861 by Alexander II, the Russian Tsar, and was named in honor of his wife, Empress Maria. Historically, maritime activities and fishing were essential for the inhabitants of Åland, reflecting their Viking heritage. Currently, approximately half of the local economy is still anchored in maritime sectors. The Åland Maritime Museum is a prominent tourist attraction, where exhibitions of Arab coins provide evidence of ancient trade ties with distant lands, marking the rich history of the region's interactions since ancient times. In addition to its natural beauty, Åland relies on agriculture as one of the pillars of its economy. Visitors are often enchanted by the lush and unique local nature. Its southern location compared to the rest of Scandinavia provides a milder climate, setting it apart from Sweden and Finland. This climatic peculiarity means that, especially from May to August, Åland ranks among the sunniest regions in Scandinavia, a crucial factor for one of its agricultural treasures: honey. The bees in the region, feeding on the diverse flowers of the archipelago, produce exceptionally high-quality honey, recognized worldwide. Another agricultural highlight is apple production. Åland is often called Finland's orchard due to the remarkable taste and productivity of its apple trees, benefiting from the long, sunny days that characterize the local summer. Åland's agricultural sector has its peculiarities, such as being home to Finland's oldest potato chip factory. In parallel with Finland's success in software development and mobile gaming, Åland has been following a similar path. The country is experiencing rapid growth in the software and gaming industry, with the government launching ambitious initiatives to foster this expanding sector. Furthermore, Åland distinguishes itself by having its own identity on the internet, marked by the domain extension .x. This detail symbolizes the region's autonomy, which was further solidified when Åland joined the European Union in 1995. Unlike Finland, Åland's EU accession agreement included special conditions, allowing the region to maintain exemptions from certain EU customs and tax regulations. Åland opted not to fully adhere to the customs and tax policies of the European Union to protect its primary source of income, the maritime industry. This decision was crucial, as the daily flow of passenger vessels from Sweden, Finland, and Estonia brings many visitors interested in tax-free shopping in Åland. Additionally, the region boasts a very low unemployment rate, although, as is common on islands, the prices of food and essential items are higher compared to the mainland. In Sweden, distance education or homeschooling has been a long-standing topic of debate, intensified by the global pandemic. During this period, many institutions adopted remote learning, with some continuing this approach even after the health crisis. The increasing refugee population in Sweden has raised concerns about the quality of education in schools, resulting in a growth in homeschooling. However, the Swedish government firmly opposes this practice for school-aged children, banning it in 2011. The reason is the belief that homeschooling can weaken social bonds and compromise the democratic values of Swedish society. Unlike Sweden, Finland allows homeschooling for interested families. In Åland, where Swedish is the official language and used in the education system, the ban on homeschooling in Sweden in 2011 led some Swedish families to relocate to the region. Åland, being an autonomous region, also harbors movements that aspire to full independence. The Ålands Framtid Party is a significant force in this movement, aiming for the region's complete sovereignty. Since the beginning of the 21st century, Ålands Framtid has managed to secure representation in the local parliament with 30 seats. Additionally, it is culturally common in Åland to own summer houses, especially among the residents of Mariehamn, who prefer to spend the summer months in these retreats, seeking greater isolation and connection with nature. In Åland, there is also a rule that guarantees everyone the right to camp, reinforcing access and connection to the region's natural environment. Åland's camping policy is liberal, allowing visitors to camp in nearly any location, as long as they adhere to certain rules, not staying for too many nights, avoiding campfires, and keeping a distance from private properties. This regulation was created to favor nature enthusiasts visiting the archipelago, granting them the freedom to explore and camp outdoors. In Åland, a region composed of islands, social leisure options are more limited. Mariehamn, the capital, with approximately 11,500 inhabitants, is the most vibrant center of social life. The main street in Mariehamn can be traversed quickly, and Wednesdays are particularly lively, with bars, restaurants, and cafes attracting many patrons. On weekends, it's not uncommon for residents to travel to Stockholm in search of entertainment, such as concerts, theater, and cinema. Due to Åland's small size and reduced population, many residents have family ties, strengthening a sense of community trust and closeness. Furthermore, Åland has its own license plate system. Public transportation is free for both residents and tourists, making it easy to access different parts of the archipelago, including the most remote areas, through various public transport routes.